Everyone said he would die. An empire built on fear. A boy armed with nothing but a stone. What happens in the next 5 seconds will change everything you believe about power. The impossible wins. In the ancient land of Canaan, where golden hills met dusty valleys, a nation lived under the weight of constant war. In the small town of Bethlehem, an old man named Jesse raised 8 sons, each one destined for a different calling. The youngest of them all, David, was considered too small and too young to matter to anyone at all. While his brothers trained for battle, David walked alone through wild lands, guarding his father's flock day and night. When a lion took one of his sheep, David chased it down and tore the animal apart with his bare hands. Then the prophet Samuel arrived and poured sacred oil over David's head, anointing the shepherd boy as the future king. But David returned to the fields as if nothing had changed, carrying a destiny the world was not yet ready to see. From the west, the armies of the Philistines gathered in the valley of Elah, pouring in like a dark flood without end. And from their ranks stepped the one they called Goliath, a warrior so enormous he seemed to blot out the sky itself. His armor alone weighed more than 100 pounds of bronze, and his spear was as thick as a weaver's heavy beam. Standing between both armies, Goliath roared his challenge across the valley. "Send me your best man, and we end this today." Every soldier in Israel heard him, and every one of them was deeply and completely terrified to answer. For 40 days and 40 mornings, Goliath walked out and shouted, and for 40 mornings no one in Israel dared to move. Even King Saul, Israel's tallest and mightiest warrior, sat paralyzed in his tent, unable to find the will to rise. Then Jesse caught his youngest son and sent him to the battlefield simply to deliver food to his older brothers serving there. He walked into the camp as a boy carrying bread, stepping into a world of war he was not supposed to change at all. Then the giant's voice thundered across the valley, and while every other soldier stumbled backward, David stood perfectly still. He moved through the camp asking soldiers why no one had risen to silence this man who dared to mock the living God. His eldest brother turned and mocked him, telling him to go home to his sheep where small and foolish boys belonged. Word of David's boldness reached King Saul, who summoned the boy and looked him over. This small shepherd who had come to volunteer. David told the king about the lion and the bear, and how the same God who saved him then would save him again today. Saul placed his own royal armor on the boy, but David removed it. It was not his way, and he had never worn such things. He walked to a stream in the valley and carefully chose 5 smooth stones, placing each one gently into his shepherd's pouch. And as the morning sun rose over the valley of Elah, a single unarmed boy walked slowly toward the most feared man alive. When Goliath saw the boy coming toward him, he laughed, mocking this child who had come armed with nothing but a stick. David answered him without fear. "You come with sword and spear, but I come in the name of the living God of Israel." He reached into his pouch, drew out a stone, and ran directly toward the giant, the sling already spinning overhead with purpose. The stone left his hand and crossed the valley air in a moment so quiet, it felt as though all of creation had paused to watch. The stone struck Goliath between the eyes, and the giant who had terrified a nation fell crashing to the ground like a fallen tree. David stood over the fallen warrior, drew the giant's own sword from its sheath, and raised it high for both armies to see. When the Philistines saw their champion had fallen, the terror that had gripped Israel for 40 days transferred entirely to them. Israel's army, freed from 40 days of paralyzing fear, charged down the hillside with a roar that shook the valley walls. Women poured into the streets, singing David's name. The shepherd boy, who had done what no trained soldier had the courage to attempt. But up in the palace, King Saul stood watching in silence, and the seeds of a dangerous jealousy took root inside his heart. The shepherd boy who left with bread and came back carrying a legend had only just begun the long and difficult road to his throne.